Do you want to go to the state jail facility for 2 years?
No, Your Honor.
Every decision you make, even when you wake up in the morning, you know what your first question should be? Is this something that will result in me going to the state jail facility for 2 years?
Court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served.
Of the kids, all those things that cannot be replaced, along with all my military accolades that are gone.
My husband present to my little son, he passed away. And that's very important for Marcos, the PlayStation, because
All right, where's her son's PlayStation? All right, so is it still at your house? You want me to call your mom? Have his mother come back up here, please. Step to the side. Where is her son's PlayStation? Your son just said he took it to your house. Where's the PlayStation? Unless somebody wants to tell me where that PlayStation is, because that mother wants her son's PlayStation that her deceased husband gave to the son. Your actions are your actions. I know there are a lot of people who have ADHD. They don't go around breaking into people's homes and pointing guns at them.
Are you the same Jose Alarcon who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 4204 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on December 3rd, 2019 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, state.
The defendant violated condition number 16 on or about the 8th day of February 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Jose M. Lozano Alarcon, did then and there fail to complete the parenting class with compadre y compadre in violation of condition number 16.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
The
State,
state will waive remaining allegations.
any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Alarcon, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 16, the court to find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 16?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 16 true. Is there an agreement?
Whereas, Judge, we're asking for you to deny the state's motion and alter and amend to include the name of that program slips my mind.
San
I'm sorry,
Antonio
I'm
gives
sorry.
back.
What was the program?
San Antonio Gives Back.
Is that the agreement, defense?
Yes, Your Honor. So we just asked that you would follow that agreement. Yes, Judge.
Mr. Alarcon, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include a 30-day jail sanction to be served with San Antonio Gives Back. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll close the record. Mr. Alarcon, do you want to go to the state jail facility for 2 years?
No, Your Honor.
Everything you do from here on out, every decision you make, even when you wake up in the morning, you know what your first question should be? Is this something that will result in me going to the state jail facility for 2 years? You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you decide, I really want to do something else and I really don't feel like reporting to probation, before you make that decision, you need to say, it's not reporting to probation. Is that something that could potentially get me sentenced to 2 years in the state jail facility? You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you almost went to the Bexar County Jail for 30 days. The only reason you're not going to the Bexar County Jail for 30 days is because there's a new program and it'll be a chance for you to give back by doing work around the city. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else he needs to be admonished about, Rebecca? Any other issues we're having with Mr. Alarcon?
not that I'm aware.
All right. And you need to start working on that restitution. You understand? Because otherwise you're going to look up and you're going to be extended because that restitution needs to be paid. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you need to do those parenting classes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. With that, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation.
And are you Mr. Lozano? All right, we are here for sentencing. A jury found you guilty, and they found you guilty of the offense of theft, $300,000 or more as charged in the indictment. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State.
We have, Your Honor.
Defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any corrections or additions to the PSI report? State.
No, Your Honor.
Defense.
No, Your Honor.
All right. State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're asking that you sentence the defendant to 15 years in the prison.
All right. And the reason?
Your Honor, the defendant was convicted of a first-degree felony offense in this case. Reading the TAP evaluation, he's shown no remorse for his actions. He doesn't say this was the result of being under the influence of drugs or alcohol. His story about how he says this happens is just not credible. It doesn't jive with the evidence that we saw at trial. He says that someone offered to sell him $300 worth of items, over $300 worth of items for $600 to $800. He says his friend brought the trailer to him. The evidence that was elicited at trial indicated that a window of the truck was broken. So it's pretty clear to me that he knew these items were, the very least he knew these items were stolen. But Your Honor, what he's convicted of is theft. And I guess the other part of this, the TAP evaluation, they talked about his home life a little bit. He says he has regular contact with all his kids, but evidence elicited at the trial was he's not paying any kind of child support to Edith Serrano. That was one of the victims, you may recall, Your Honor. Or I'm sorry, one of the witnesses at the trial, Your Honor. I know you were presided over this case, Judge, so you remember the testimony, but Terry Kirkbride and his wife are moving from California to Florida, and they lost almost everything as a result of this theft, Your Honor. But what Terry said on the stand is what really stuck with me. And what he said is the hardest part about this is that he lost things in this theft as a result of this theft, as a result of the actions of the defendant that cannot be replaced. So the hardest part of that for him were the photos that are just gone forever. The things that he inherited, the things that his wife inherited, they're gone forever. Items from his military career that are gone forever, damaged or lost. And so that's what I want to emphasize to the court. And the other part of the thing I want to emphasize to the court, Your Honor, is we're asking for this sentence to protect the community from these types of thefts. This property crime, I think, especially folks who are involved in the criminal justice system, we can get sort of jaded and think, well, nobody died, right? But these crimes are very serious, and this is the victims in this case lost nearly everything that they own. And so, Your Honor, we're asking that you protect the community from these types of crimes and sentence the defendant to 15 years in prison.
All right, defense.
Judge, if the court recalls the facts of the case, I think Mr. Lozano's explanation is perfectly plausible. There was absolutely no evidence presented by the state in the trial of the case that he was present when that truck was stolen, whether he ever drove that truck, ever had contact with that truck, it was ever on his property. His suggestion that the guy brought the trailer to him to see if he wanted to buy it is consistent with somebody who did steal that property, trying to go and pawn it off on people. Him paying $600 or $800 for what was the contents is because all the valuables were already gone. All that was left was a bunch of stuff that after whoever stole it, poured through it. He admitted, yes, my print is on the trailer because he showed it to me and he wanted more money than I could afford. And so I didn't buy it. He offered me the other things that were there. The complainant specifically testified in his testimony, the things that were at Mr. Lozano's property that they recovered were of little or no value, right? If you look at the PSI report, when they go to the restitution, it says approximately $300,000. How can you approximate that when he's already been found guilty by a jury? Well, this court knows why. It's because her math was a mess. The complainant testified in the trial of the case that he agreed in writing a contractual agreement with the insurance company to settle for $240,000. The theft statute is very, very clear. It's the value of the property at the time it's stolen, not what you paid for it years before. So when you read their exhibits, and the jury obviously never did, they put no attention to the real evidence in the case. They felt bad for the complainants. I feel bad. We all do. They suffered a great loss, but they didn't prove he was the one who did it. They proved that he was a party to being in possession of some of the stolen property. That's why we had a jury charge all the way down to a state jail. That was the appropriate charge. This case is ripe and full of appeal issues, especially on the issue of the value and sufficiency of evidence. This case does not merit a day in prison. I get it. It's a big loss. But if you look at the exhibits, and I was going to bring it to you, but it's in the court's file or court board's file. USA went through an entire exhaustive list, and he says I spent months and I kept updating it, telling them all the things that I lost. They put the retail value, they depreciated it down to the actual cash value at the time of the loss, right? He signs an agreement, accepts the check saying $240,000. And that included the truck.
All right, so just so parties know, I'm not going behind the jury's verdict.
I'm not asking you
Yeah,
to,
all
I'm just saying the punishment should fit the crime. The jury did what they did, and that's for another court to look at, whether there was sufficient evidence for their verdict. But my suggestion is, if they've proven that my guy drove off with the truck and the trailer and he had gotten rid of everything, I can see that this is a different case. There's absolutely no evidence that was presented to suggest that. And his explanation fits squarely within the facts that were presented in this case. So I get it that there's restitution. My client is going to have a lifetime consequence because of his resident status of potentially being excluded from this country. So he is going to get punished severely by this court and probably another one. So all that being said, Judge, we'd ask the court to sentence him to a term of probation. We'll pay restitution to their number as best he can, as long as he can. But that's the appropriate sentence. If we're going to start locking up every person who goes to a flea market and those people that come into property illegally and they get it in their possession, we're going to start sending them all to prison. We don't have a big enough jail for that, Judge.
All right. Is there anything you wish to say?
Yes.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jose Lozano.
All right, and make sure you keep your voice up so the court reporter can hear. Who's the name of the friend that gave you these items?
What's the name? I don't know his name. They called him.
Well, I mean, you say he's your friend,
Well, yeah, but
and you say you received a phone call from a friend.
yes, should have wrote it down.
All right, so here's my other question. The items, because there were some items that were related to his military career. When you saw the name of a person's name on military paperwork, what did you think?
At the point already, I had the stuff in my house. I didn't know what to do with it no more. It was there. I bought it. It was in boxes when I bought it. By the time I got to open it, I saw the stuff.
So how much money did you pay for this stuff?
About 800, whatever was in the trailer, when I got it off, about $800 and $900.
Did you look through everything before you paid 800 or 900?
Boxes.
So you just take a boxes sight unseen, sort of like Storage Wars?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And so you don't know your friend's name who phoned you. According to you, it says that you were home asleep on this date and you received a phone call from a friend.
They call him Chaparro, but I off the top of my head, I can't remember his name right now. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, no problem. I just wanted that cleared up. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. With regards to the amount, the court does not deal in approximations. So for the court, there is no restitution because there is nothing here to suggest a restitution amount. It just says approximately $300,000. There's nothing I can do with that. And this trial was on 24. So by that time, there should have been some amount to the court. So I'll give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing, State?
Judge, is the defendant's birthday May 1st, 1998? Is that right?
You can ask him.
Okay. Is that your birthday, sir? May 1st, 1998?
Yeah.
And Judge, would you incorporate the evidence at trial as to the value? Would that be something you'd be willing to do?
No, because again, the amount that's listed in the PSI report is approximately $300,000. And then defense counsel is correct with the amount that the complainant settled for, and I know how insurance companies do sometimes,
Probably
the amount, yeah, the amount the insurance company settled for was $240,000. So this is where we are.
And if I could, just one last thing on the record. I just wanted the court to be aware, the record to be clear, that that approximation comes from the complainant. The PSI officer called the complainant to ask him that number, and that was his response,
Yes.
even after his testimony that was presented to the court.
I'm not ordering restitution unless there is some sort of deductible, which the court has not received any information on a deductible amount. So the court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison and give you credit for any time served. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor, we just have victim impact fees.
I do, Judge.
Yes.
We will be filing notice of appeal and a request for an appeal bond. Do you want to take that up today or?
Oh, you have to file you'll have to file the motion and the court will take that up. So if you could have him fill out the trial court certification.
Well, they're gonna be filed today. That's why I'm asking if he could be kept in court today so we can address it, or do you want us to set another
It's
hearing?
gonna have to be another date.
So-
All right. Once if you could have him do the trial court certification, so I could do that now, please.
I see the sentencing's already been done. I'll just try to keep it short. I think the court's already heard most of our story. But I'll just go down the quick history. I mean, when we made our decision to move to Florida, it was to be near kids and grandkids. It was a pretty tough decision. I lived in California all my life up to that point. Sold our home, gave away pretty much all of our possessions that could be replaced, like furniture, refrigerators, that type of thing. All of our most precious items were packed up very carefully. It took us almost 3 months to get everything properly packed and wrapped. And I bought a 24-foot enclosed trailer, and that's where we packed everything in. On our journey to our joyous move to Florida to start a new life, we made it as far as San Antonio. And of course, from that moment forward, December 4th forward, it's just like our world was turned upside down. It derailed our whole joy of the move. And what was supposed to be looking for a home right away turned into almost an 8-month endeavor because we were dealing with all of the aftermath of the theft. I'm a combat veteran. One of my diagnoses is PTSD. So I was already dealing with that. And then this just totally derailed me and my wife and left us kind of in this state of like, what next? As we put the pieces together, keep in mind, it was 3 years, 3 months from the time of the theft to the time of the trial. And they had some 22, 23 resets. Each one of those resets represented to us is we had to juggle our lives around the schedule of the court. We gave up family vacations, gave up visiting sick family members. We did a lot of things during those 3.5 years, 3 years, 3 months that just kept this thing going. And now we're here at the final part of the sentencing and all that. And I feel for both sides. I feel for Mr. Lozano and how this must be for him. But I also got to understand what it was like for us. These weren't just things that you go to the store and buy. This was our life. My wife is a Native American Studies. She had all of her research that was in those boxes that are gone, all of my VA records, all of our photographs of our family from the past, videos of the kids, all those things that cannot be replaced, along with all my military accolades that are gone. The impact was great. And I am glad that we're finally at a point for us anyways, where we can just kind of turn the page. I think that's enough said.
All right, court is going to go on the record in 2021 CR 7016, State of Texas versus Jose Lozano. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Bring it like this.
All right, are you Mr. Lozano?
Yes.
All right, this is a request to set an appeals bond. State, have you had a chance to review the motion?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. State?
Your Honor, we're opposed to the motion. We under Article 44.04C, you can deny the motion it's up to your discretion, Your Honor. So we're asking that you deny the motion. The defendant got a fair trial. He's been sentenced to 6 years in the penitentiary. We think it's time to start serving a sentence. I know you were here for sentencing, and you remember from sentencing some of the issues that were brought up then as far as lack of remorse here. I don't think he would be successful on this appeal. In addition, I know that's maybe not in front of the court today, but Your Honor, for those reasons, we're asking that you deny the motion.
All right. So for both parties, the court did hear all the evidence in this case. And I will say, as a former defense attorney, sometimes people will have a lack of remorse if they feel like they're not guilty and they didn't do it. So I understand what you're saying by lack of remorse, but sometimes people feel I didn't commit a crime. I have nothing to be remorseful for. And that may or may not be the case here. So, defense.
Judge, as the court knows, as a matter of law, Mr. Lozano was not finally convicted until his appeals have been exhausted. He's already exercised his decision to appeal his case. And as a matter of fact, I think counsel's already been appointed. That's kind of a separate housekeeping matter. I might want to take up with the court later about how his bond gets done if you give him one. He's always attended court, which is the purpose of the bond judge. He came to court for sentencing, knowing that the court fully well might sentence him to prison. The court knows that this is not a violent offense. It's not a family violence offense. Yes, these people lost a lot, but the court knows the peculiarities of this particular case and what the issues might be on appeal. They stand out like a sore thumb. He has family to take care of. Lack of remorse is a punishment issue. The court's already issued punishment. It's not an issue for whether he gets an appeal bond or not. I mean, the state can.
Well,
keep
the
saying
court
that.
has already addressed the lack of remorse. So,
And it wasn't an issue for the appeal. It's an issue for punishment. But anyway, so we'd ask the court to set a bond. And I'd also point out to the court, this will be the third bond he's made in this case. He made a bond when he originally got arrested at $40,000. He was taken into custody upon conviction, but then subsequently given bond pending sentencing. That was $100,000. That was the second bond he had to make, and the court sets bond, it would be a third one. But at the very least, I think he qualifies under the statute, and we ask the court to set a reasonable amount.
all right, what amount are you requesting defense?
Judge, we think the 40,000 where we started was perfectly fine. He did not reoffend during the entire time period, and as we know, this case happened like 5 years ago. I think it was 2019, if I'm not mistaken, was the offense date. So he's learned how to stay out of trouble. He knows how to come to court when he's supposed to. He complies with the rules of the court, and he stayed in contact and in good standing with bondsmen. So we'd ask the court to consider 40,000.
All right, the court is going to grant an appellate bond. State, do you have any requests for bond?
Your Honor, the defendant was convicted of the first degree felony offense of theft over $300,000, but the evidence presented at trial was the value of the items was over $400,000. So we would ask that you set the bond in an amount no less than $800,000 with full house arrest GPS, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to set the defendant's bond at $50,000. There's to be GPS tracking, waive or defer the fees. There'll be, I'm sorry, strike that, not GPS tracking. I'm going to give him partial GPS, waive or defer fees, and that will be for employment only. All right, is there anything else?
Very well.
All right, once the Court of Appeals make a decision on your appeal, if they, we're off the record, if they decide to affirm the trial court's decision, then you'll be notified and you'll have to go into custody. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else?
Very well.
Anything else from the state?
Noted from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Charged with aggravated robbery, that's the first degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea, all right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding you guilty as you applied for deferred adjudication. Is there a request for a chapter evaluation?
Yes, I would probably get idea.
All right.
And if we could have him check, see if he could go into the Nick Maya, because he was, we did have a psychological done.
All right, your sentencing will be set on September 6th at 9 a.m.
Your Honor,
I'm
I'll
sorry,
be-
is it,
I'll be out of town that week. My son's getting married on Labor Day, so I'll be gone that week.
does your son want you at his wedding, or do they just want, usually they just want the parents to pay?
We're supposed to be there.
All right, are you best man or?
No, it's my son's. That's why
Okay. All right, awesome.
he's getting married in El Paso, so we'll be there for a week.
Okay, Ms. Ferguson?
Oh, sure, but we'll do it just the next Tuesday. the
Okay.
13th.
All right, so we're gonna do it September 13th. We will accommodate your wedding. I won't have you going there saying, I would have been there for your most important day, but the judge wouldn't let me. All right, so we're gonna come back on September 13th.
Is that for PSI and TAP or just TAP?
I'm gonna want a TAP evaluation and a McMiles evaluation. And are there gonna be any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is going to call the planning witness for a victim impact statement.
All right, but are you gonna call them for testimony?
Sure, Judge.
All right, so possibly one witness. Do you have any witnesses?
I may have one witness. Sure.
Right, and the reason why I'm asking, if you guys are sure it's only gonna be 2 witnesses, then I'll set it in the morning. But if it's gonna end up being more than that, we'll set it in the afternoon. That's why I asked.
I only know of one right now. I mean, other than my client, Joe. Other than my client.
All right, so it'll be at 9 a.m. If there are gonna be more witnesses than the 3 witnesses, are there gonna be long witnesses?
I don't anticipate the complainant.
All right,
Two more
so
witnesses.
we'll do it at 9 a.m. If it turns out that you have more witnesses than that, please let Ms. Ferguson know, and it will be on the same date. It'll just be set in the afternoon. All right, thank you. Probation, if you need anything from him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So everyone, we're gonna take our recess. We're gonna be back at 1:30 p.m. for jury trial. Notice in receipt of the TAP evaluation and the MIC evaluation, I believe. And those are the reports that the court wanted. Have both parties had a chance to review those reports, state,
We have to.
defense?
Yes, Your Honor, I've reviewed them with my client.
All right, any objections to those reports, state,
None from the state.
defense?
No objection.
All right, state, do you have any witnesses?
We do, Judge. We
have
have 2 short witnesses.
All right, call your first name, witness.
We call Maria Valdez. We did have a translator for her this morning. I don't think the translator's back. I do think she's, I think her English is very good. I think she'll be able to do it.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record?
Maria Inés Valderas, Calderon.
All right, you can lower your hand.
Oh, sorry.
All right, that's okay. Are you able to understand English?
Yes.
All right, and are you okay to proceed without an interpreter?
Yeah.
All right, state.
Ms. Valdez, can you tell, so this is the judge. You're going to talk to her a little bit. Can you tell us where you live?
I'm living 1451 West Gray.
May I have that street again, ma'am?
1451 West Gray,
It's
And-
Crane.
West Gray, CRAIG.
Thank you.
And are you the victim in this case?
Yes.
The judge has read the police reports, but can you tell the judge who was at your house whenever this robbery occurred?
Where is my house?
Yeah, who was there?
I am and my little son. He's 10 years old. The name is Marcos Valderas.
And where were you and Marcus whenever the robbery happened?
I'm in my room.
And what were y'all doing in your room?
I'm trying to prepare to go to sleep. To put my little son to sleep, and usually I watch TV in the night. So I'm in my room.
Can you tell the judge what happened whenever the people broke into your room?
Well, at first I hear a little noises in my living room, but it's like very little noise. So I don't get up, just, I think maybe I have one bed with papers in my room, and everything just fall down. So, but when I hear somebody open the door, or it's like 2 guys with a gun, and at first I'm scared and I'm surprised to see these 2 guys in my room with a gun. And one of the guys came to my bed. So I'm not have time to get up, just sit down in the bed. And they're kind of asking for my truck key. And I said, I got in my purse. and I tried to get off to give it to him. But they don't let me do nothing, just the guy told me to stay. Like, don't do nothing, don't scream. And he asked me who is the kid and the baby. He asked me, it's my son. And I said, yeah, it's my son. And he said, don't do nothing because I shoot him. So,
Just so the judge can hear again, you said don't do nothing,
yeah,
so that why?
because there I shoot your son.
Um,
And I'm asking the guy says, you are my older son friends. My older son name is Daniel. And the other guy said, no, I don't know Daniel, but I recognize John. And I want to ask, you are Daniel friend? Because I recognize John. That's when he gets to my room.
did John and the other man, did they take things from your room?
Yeah, they'll take my my phone. They take my, John get my wallet, and I'm please don't take my wallet, but because I have my green card in my wallet. And I said, please leave my green card, just it's okay to take my wallet and everything. Then he tried to take out, he said, where is your green card? And put that in my wallet. And he tried to take my green card, but it's a lot, I have a lot of cards. So he told my purse and find the keys and get my wallet. And he get all the money and leave my wallet with everything else. But he take out the money and the card, my car keys. And I hear he disconnect in the living room, the TV and the PlayStation for my son. And I'm please don't take the PlayStation because that's my husband present to my little son. He passed away. And that's very important for Marcos, the PlayStation, because he want to keep it forever. Like memory. And the guy that stay in my room, he said, you asking for too much. Because I already gave it to green card. And I feel better because he come for more. I'm asking because he come to my house and broke my keys and broke my son's keys.
I'm sorry.
Say that part again.
He broke my son's keys, you know.
Are you
Because
saying
he
your
feel,
keys?
yeah, he don't feel safe and he's home. Just like he's like, mommy, I don't want to live here anymore.
Maria,
This is my house.
Maria, how long have you lived at that house?
I live in my house for like 15 years.
And you said that John was friends with your son. Did John know that you mentioned that your husband passed away, correct?
Yeah, he knows everything on my life because I know him for like 5 years because he's my other son friend.
So did he know you were by yourself without anyone else?
Yeah.
I'm gonna object, John, to what John did. I don't think she would.
I can't quite hear you, counsel. Again,
I'm gonna object to that question, to asking what John knew. I don't think he has personal knowledge.
So what is your legal objection?
Objection, she doesn't have personal knowledge of what someone else would know.
I mean, I think she would know.
That'll be overruled. All right, we have an interpreter. Yes, come forward. Yes. All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you could state your name for the record.
Flavia Valle, license 314.
All right, state you may continue asking your questions of the witness.
And Maria, so tell me this, what all did he take from your house?
Se llevó la televisión, la troca,
He took the TV, the truck,
la PlayStation en vivo,
my son's PlayStation,
juegos
some games,
y dinero en efectivo.
and some cash.
The truck that he took from your house, can you tell me whose truck that was?
Era de mi esposo.
It belonged to my husband.
And can you tell the judge a little bit about how your husband got that truck?
Bueno, él trabajó duro por la camioneta
He worked very hard for the truck.
y aunque él tenía cáncer,
And
Él continuó trabajando para mantener su camioneta.
regardless that he had cancer, he continued working in order to keep his own truck.
Y después de que él murió, la camioneta no estaba pagada totalmente.
And after he passed, the truck was not fully paid off.
Y yo tuve que usar mi dinero de mi income tax para terminar de pagarla y poder quedarme con ella como recuerdo.
And I have to use my income tax money in order to finish paying it and keep it as a remembrance.
Maria, did you ever get that truck back?
No,
No,
What happened to the truck?
la encontraron en Uvalde con inmigrantes.
they found it in Uvalde with some immigrants.
Y la policía los persiguió y la chocaron.
And the policeman followed them and it was involving a crash.
And was the car totaled?
Yes,
Did you ever get back the PlayStation that
no,
your son had received from his dad before he passed away?
no, I didn't.
Is there anything else you want the judge to know about how this affected you, what John and the other man did that day they broke in your case, in your house?
Solamente quiero decirles que ha sido muy difícil seguir viviendo ahí.
I just wanted to let you know that it has been very hard for me to continue living at that place
Porque no nos sentimos seguros,
because we no longer feel safe,
pero no tengo a dónde moverme porque esta casa yo la estoy comprando.
but I don't have any other place to go because I'm purchasing that house.
Y no siento que sea algo correcto que personas como John solamente vengan a querer apropiarse de cosas que ellos no trabajan duro.
And I don't think it's right for people like John to just come easily and try to take over things because we work so much and they haven't.
Y yo tengo un hijo
I do have a son,
como John,
as John,
que también hace esas cosas malas.
that he also does this bad things like he does.
Pero él está también cumpliendo su condena.
But he is fulfilling his punishment right now.
Porque es lo mismo que le digo, que no es bueno que solamente vengan sin saber realmente cómo las personas trabajamos duro.
Because it's not right for them just to come easily and without knowing how hard we people work so hard for things.
No creo que sea bueno que él realmente quiera cambiar su vida, porque tiene mucho tiempo haciendo eso.
And I don't think it's right. And I really don't think he wants to change his life because he's been doing this for a long time.
All right, defense, any questions?
No question.
All right, any other questions?
Just very briefly, Maria, was this the first time he broke into your house?
I would object to any redirect. There was no cross, so.
That'll be overruled.
Maria, was this the first time he broke into your house?
No,
Él entró en 2017,
on 2017, he broke in
cuando yo estaba en México de vacaciones.
when I was in vacation, in Mexico during a vacation.
Y en ese mismo, en la última semana de ese mismo mes,
And on the last week of that same month,
él vino con mi hijo y otro niño a la casa de una persona con la que yo trabajo.
he came with my son and with another young man to the house of a person I used to work for.
Y le estaban a robar a su casa.
And they came in and they robbed her house.
Thank you, Maria. I'll pass the witness.
Any follow-up?
No question, no.
All right, thank you.
May the interpreter be excused?
Are there any other
We
witnesses?
have one more witness, but she doesn't need an interview.
All right, thank you. Thank
you,
you so
Judge.
much.
Sure, no problem.
All right, call your next witness.
The state will call Lauren Lefton.
Oh, I thought you were here as an attorney to represent someone, but you're here as a witness. All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you could state your name for the record.
Lauren Wilson.
All right, state.
And Lauren, just so the record to be clear, you work here in the courthouse, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you know, myself,
Yes.
and you know Judge Boyd?
Yes.
And
in
Mr.
relation-
Basil.
And do you know Mr. Basil?
I don't think we know each other personally.
Oh, okay.
But Lauren, you are an attorney who practices criminal law here in San Antonio, correct?
Yes.
How do you know Maria, who was the witness who just testified?
I would say she's been a part of my family or worked for my family since I was a child.
Back, did you have a case where you were a victim where someone burglarized your house?
Yes, in January of 2018, my house was broken into actually 2 days in a row. There was a juvenile case, John, and then his son Daniel did do juvenile probation of a form for that matter. And my property was never returned.
John Juarez, who's sitting right here, was criminally charged as a juvenile for that and was placed on some type of juvenile version of supervision for a burglary.
Correct.
And it was a burglary where they broke into your house and stole things.
Correct.
I'll pass the witness.
Defense.
This other person that you mentioned, Daniel, that's the son of, is it correct?
Correct.
She had mentioned her son had been in trouble too.
Correct.
Do you know any facts of the underlying cases?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, as far as the case is present, you don't have any personal knowledge of the case before the judge.
No, just what analysis told me over time.
No further questions, Jim.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
State.
Judge, that's all the witnesses we have. We just have argument.
Defense.
Let's call Anna Warrens.
Would you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
I'm John's mother.
Defense.
And Ms. Waters, you've heard the testimony and you're not here today to say anything about the facts of the case, right? You want to get John. Okay, so tell me, you've had some problems with John in the past, is that right? Okay, tell me about.
All right, everybody needs to stop whispering. Because I know when people speak in the hallway to people or you're at your house, nobody is whispering. Court reporter needs to hear what's being said so she can take it down. I need to hear what's going on so that I can make an appropriate decision in this case. So everyone keep your voices here. All right, you may continue.
I was asking you, in the past, have you had any issues with John that you have concerns about?
No,
But, I mean, has he had any special needs? Has he had any problems with any mental health issues or any school issues? Can you explain those to the judge?
He's always had, is your voice up, ma'am? Oh, he's always had issues. I mean, he was, they did tell me that he had ADD. He's always had problems in school. He's always had problems like concentrating, little things like that.
And have you tried to provide for him and give him some structure?
Yes.
And he's had some problems staying within the structure, right?
Yes.
So do you think he needs to have some more structure in his life to help him?
Well, I mean, as far as him being, locked up, he's been here for a long time. I would like him to get help, as far as I point to that, like what I explained to you, to home.
Tell the court what you're talking about, what you explain,
Oh,
what you'd like to see.
there is a program in Victory Outreach, and I believe that, it would help him instead of sending him, to prison. I understand that he did do wrong. I'm not saying that it's okay, whatever he did, growing up. But I don't believe that he should be kept or sent to prison for another, because he's gonna have to adjust to that. Right now he's young, he's still 19, I still have a chance to, the resources, in other words, to help him. He has been in Bear County already for a little over a year. Yes, he has gotten in trouble, he's not perfect. I'm learning with him at the same time, but I do want to be given the chance to help him.
Are there any other family members? I think you're here with his sister.
Yes,
correct?
my daughter,
How old
Eliana
is-
Villarreal.
How old is she?
15.
And she's going to also help and be there for them?
Of course,
Do
yes.
you have any other family members or any other person who you want to also help you?
Yes, so, my boyfriend, I've been with him for 13 years and he's been a part of John's life. And, you know, he's a father figure to him. He's never had his father in his life, but as far as a male figure, he's the one who's there for me. And we're all willing to help him.
So you understand that if the court was to grant what you're asking, there would be conditions you would have to follow.
Oh, of course,
Certain
of
things
course.
that you could do.
Yes, of course.
If you didn't follow those, then you could go to prison for a long
Yes,
time.
yes.
You
I
understand
all of that, yes. I understand that I have to put my part, you know, I have to help and it's all about John. It's all about John helping him, you know. He needs help, you know, he does. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but I don't think he needs to go to prison. Honestly don't. I would like to get him help somewhere else.
Do you think if he got the right help, John could be a productive citizen?
Of course, yes, of course. I mean, it's been by the court. Everybody's in this place and there's people that have been proven to approve to do better. Yes, he's a good person, you know, he does have a good heart, you know.
How is he at home? Does he help you at home and do stuff?
Oh, yes, yes, he's very, very protective with me also, you know, he does, you know, try to, because I have a lot of things that are wrong with me, you know, and he tries to help me, he tries to tell me, you know, Mom, don't overstress yourself, you know, he does a lot to help around the house all the time.
I think that in our previous conversation, you had some medical issues, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about? That he helps you with? Can you
Yes.
tell the court just a little bit about that, more in detail?
Okay, so first, if I found out that, because my shoulder would dislocate all the time, like it would pop out of place, and, I went to see the doctor, and then I found out that, you know, my ligaments are torn from basically my arm just twists, you know, it comes out of place all the time, so there's certain things that I can't do. And Don always helps me to make sure that I don't, you know, pick up anything, whatever it is at home. And then little by little things started coming out, like, high blood pressure, now I have thyroid problem, you know, stuff like that, and he helps me. Tries to make sure that I'm doing good, I'm feeling good. If I'm not feeling good, he'll help me.
So you think that it would be, for your benefit, it would be good if John could be home to help?
Well, of course, but it's more about him.
No further questions, Your Honor.
State.
Briefly, Judge, Ms. Juarez, you said that John is a good boy, but you understand he's charged with something very serious, correct? And you heard the victim testify as to what happened.
Yes, and I do feel bad, I do feel bad. Like I said, I'm not saying it's okay, you know, I'm not.
And I believe the second witness said, John's been in trouble before. He had a juvenile history, correct?
Yes, but he's been a kid, you know, he was a teenager. I mean, he's growing up, you know, now he's an adult and now it's time for him to prove that this is the way he's gonna be, you know? If he's not given a chance, then how will he know?
But I guess some may say, you know, what are we putting at risk to decide if he wants to grow up? What if this happens again, or what if something worse happens again?
We'll see, the thing is that if he were to be given an opportunity, he's gonna be on restrictions, you know? It's my job now at this point, you know, like I said, I'm not perfect, no parents. It's my
Was he
job to
on-
be on him more now, and I will do that.
Was he on restrictions whenever he had the juvenile cases?
Well,
He did have
he was a
juvenile
teenager.
restrictions.
Maybe one person at a time, please, one person at a
Yeah, let me
time.
just
Counsel, your
ask.
question?
Yes, Judge. Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Sorry.
He was on restrictions for the juvenile case, correct?
Yeah, he was on probation, but I don't think that the probation officer would bring so much. He wasn't restricted.
Okay. And you mentioned that yourself, I believe your boyfriend and your his little sister would help provide support to keep him on the right path.
Yes, I have another son also, so yes, all of us.
But ultimately, John's gonna have to decide what he does. Y'all can't stop
Of
him from
course.
doing anything.
Yes, I mean, he's gonna be, he wants to be in you know, later on down the future, but with my help and everybody else's help, we can shape him to be a good adult.
But all of you guys were present when this happened, and he still went into someone's room in the middle of the night and pointed a gun at a 10-year-old and a woman.
Allegedly, I don't know. Allegedly.
So from where you're coming from, it's allegedly.
I wasn't there, I don't know. I
I'll
can't
pass the
say
witness.
yes or no.
Understand. I'll pass it.
Defense.
No further questions.
All right, thank you for coming
Thank
down.
you. Thank you.
Do you have any other witnesses?
Just argument, John.
All right. Mr. Juarez, can you come forward, please? When you entered this plea with the state. You gave up the right to remain silent. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
John, Whitewater,
All right, where's her son's PlayStation?
I'm not sure,
Well, when you took it from the house, where did you take it?
my house.
All right, so is it still at your house? You want me to call your mom? Have his mother come back up here, please. Step to the side. You're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
All right. Where is her son's PlayStation? Your son just said he took it to your house. Where's the PlayStation?
I don't know anything about the position, and we no longer live at the house either. We had to move from that house.
All right, come step back over. Just 1 second. Just take a step back, but don't go to your seat. Where did you put the PlayStation when you brought it to your home?
I just left it in the bag. I was moving around a lot.
Where's that bag?
I'm not sure.
Who played on that PlayStation when you took it from her home?
Nobody.
So you're telling me you just have a PlayStation that you stole at gunpoint and you just leave it at your house and nobody's playing with it, nobody's pawning it, it's just there? Is that what you're telling me?
I got arrested the next day.
So then if that bag was at your home, at your mom's home, they should have that PlayStation. Okay. All right, Mom, you can have a seat.
Yes.
Unless there's no questions for him, I'll hear argument.
No.
Unless somebody wants to tell me where that PlayStation is, because that mother wants her son's PlayStation that her deceased husband gave to the son. I understand the truck is out of the question because it's been totaled. So her son wants his PlayStation that his deceased father gave him that somebody took when they held them at gunpoint. And that somebody would be you. So where's the PlayStation?
I don't know if you looked at the reports, if you looked at the interview that he gave, there was another person involved, an older adult was involved, which the police questioned my client about it. He did not want to give up the name. He's the one that actually took the truck and the PlayStation that time. So that's where probably he doesn't know where it is because this older adult supposedly went back to Corpus and has not seen him since that time. So
But your client just told me that he took the PlayStation to his house. Unless this older person went to his house and removed the bag that had the PlayStation in it, it should be at his home.
I don't know, I'm just telling you that that's possible. I'm like I said, that's a possibility because the truck was taken by the other person.
All right, I'll hear argument.
Judge, from the state's perspective, Judge, I think this is a case where John Juarez, he is friends with Maria's son. And he sought out his victim because he knew that she was a widow who would be home by herself without anyone to defend her. He comes in with a gun and some older kid, specifically going in to take advantage of this woman who is supposedly who is supposedly his friend's mother. You know, there's money. You know, I know they stole money, but there's some things you can't replace. You can't replace this PlayStation that we don't know where it's at. It sounds like it was a gift from a father before he passed away that now a 10-year-old, something that he could have remembered his dad was taken at gunpoint in the middle of the night while he was laying in bed with his mom. That's something that's going to be on his mind for the rest of his life. That's something that he's going to have to live with. That one of the last memories of his dad and something he gave him was two men coming in the middle of the night, pointing a gun at him and his mom and taking that. The same thing with the truck, Judge. It sounded like it was something that the father worked really hard to get. Maria kept the payments up. She even paid her income tax that probably she didn't. That money was probably earmarked for other places, but she kept it because she wanted to keep a memory of her husband who died of cancer. In a single night, John Juarez and this other individual took all of that from them. And not only did they take all that from them, they left on each one of them the feeling of unsafety in their own home, that at any point people are going to bust in, put guns in their face and steal things from them. Judge, I believe that he put up here, his mother came and testified. I think it's important to see that she said, you know, he's allegedly charged with these things. He confessed to this case. He also pled to this case. If they don't even believe it happens, how are they going to keep him accountable for this not happening in the future? This isn't an isolated incident. This isn't the first time this has happened. We believe that John Juarez needs to go to prison. We believe he specifically targeted this house and took advantage of a woman who was there by herself with her 10-year-old son and took things that can never be replaced.
All right, defense.
John, we understand this is a very serious case, and that's why we agreed and pled no contest of being contested. And it is correct, when you met with the police, it was an interview where they confessed to it, and they came into our review of the case, and I think that's fine. But, Your Honor, I'd like to see the court consider, he is a young man, he has made some problems, no question about this, made some real major mistakes. But he's looking at a real serious charge at this time with that, as the court knows, aggravated robbery. The MIC evaluations and all the other ones the courts have read does talk about some of his mental health issues and how he could possibly get help by being supervised. I'd like the court to consider that. I think that he's young enough where we could turn him around if we give him a chance, and as the court knows, on the bird. Actually, if he messes up, it could be a lot worse for him than it is today. The court knows he would be open to any punishment that the court wants to do. But my client is instructed, he wants to try and get deferred. I explained that to him. So I'd like to see him have a chance and keep his record clean if possible, and give him the services he needs. The drug treatment, the mental health treatment, and the center of healthcare services that are listed in here that they think could be advantageous.
Right. I don't understand why your client keeps stealing. Mr. Warris, why do you keep stealing? I'm sorry, what? I mean, there's some thought that goes into it because I read the stipulations, you climbed through a window. So there has to be a thought that, let me go to this house. So that means that however you're getting there, whether you're walking or driving, that takes a thought process. Then climbing through a window as opposed to going through the front door, that takes some thought process. Then pulling out a gun and pointing at someone, that takes some thought process. Telling someone that, okay, I'll let you keep your green card, but you need to give me the rest of the cash, and looking through a wallet, that takes some thought process. Taking a PlayStation, that takes some thought process. Getting in the truck and leaving took some thought process. So I don't understand why you keep stealing, because there were other witnesses who testified that you broke into their home as well. So I don't know. I don't think there's anything that I can give you. I don't think there's any type of probation that I can give you because you've been on probation before. And that's where we are. And at some point, your actions are your actions. I know there are a lot of people who have ADHD. They don't go around breaking into people's homes and pointing guns at them. And that's where we are today. I'm going to deny your application, find you guilty, sentence you to 5 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 672235. There's to be no contact with Maria Balderas Calderon. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. I'll recommend the therapeutic community. Therapeutic community will not increase your time at the prison, but I do not have any jurisdiction to force them to place you in the therapeutic community. The nature of your offense may preclude you from being placed in the therapeutic community, but you definitely will not be considered if you don't ask for it. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. You're going to have to learn to do better. All right. Yes. Court is calling 2021 CR 8420, State of Texas versus Leticia Solis.